Welcome Taurus to your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 29th of April for the ascendant, the sun or the moon. On the screen now I'm showing the event chart right at the start of the week. Now there's quite a few big takeouts, not least that the sun in your sign forges a great link with the moon. When these two are relating well to one another, it gives us a balance. So the sun in your sign is asking you to direct your energies towards your individual hopes and your creativity. But the moon in the ninth house is just saying be open-minded about what you discover this week. Now you can see that Venus, your ruler, is tucked up still in your 12th house. And because Mercury has been in retrograde in that area and we've had the total solar eclipse, I feel that there has been a very powerful period for you of late around emotions, around your psychological welfare, but also about where you really belong or who's really for you. And if there have been some separations or even disappointments or a lack of communication when you've been going through something quite delicate, Venus coming into your sign later on Monday is going to rebirth you in a way, particularly around your sense of attractiveness. So it's a rare Taurus that doesn't appreciate good things and have really good taste, but that part of your nature will be emphasized over the next few weeks. But also if you're a maker or a creative, that also is going to be enhanced, which is really good news. Now, of course, Mars has been making its way through your sector of friendship and future plans since the 23rd of March. And as we come into this week, it too is nearing the end of its journey in the sign of Pisces, but is very close to Neptune. If you are connecting to a group of people or a particular person, or you're demonstrating your flair to people, you can really capture their imagination, a mixture of your drive but also your appreciation of form and function is going to be something that's really notable. But later on Tuesday, Mars, like Venus, relocates, this time into Aries. So Venus moves into your sign, and it's great to give yourself some kind of makeover or change things up around your personal appearance, but also focus on your talents. But Mars moving into the 12th house to replace Venus suggests that when it comes to understanding some of the parts of your existence that maybe you need to leave behind may not be completely at an end. And of course, because the North Node is going to be in your 12th house through to the 11th of January 2025, there may be a sense that some things are coming to a close, but that doesn't mean to say that other things can't be taking shape and be very dynamic. The issue with Mars in the 12th house, however, is that if you're someone who finds it difficult to be angry externally because you don't want to rock the boat, or because you're placid, or there are things that have happened in your past which you've kept to yourself, Mars in the 12th house can have a tendency to rake things up. So to be honest, through to the middle of June, there may be some old issues that you thought were settled, could be aroused and in an unpredictable way at times. So Mars moving through the 12th house can be quite complex. The great thing about Mars moving through the 12th house, the desire to manifest our ego, which is what Mars is about, suggests that your appreciation of healing, of nurture, of spirituality and psychology is really going to be enhanced. And if you are someone who uses those skills quite actively, then you can really flourish with Mars's help over those next 6 weeks. Now, of course, in April, we did have that wonderful connection between Uranus and Jupiter. And as we come into this new week, they're pretty close together still, through to the 9th of May, within 3 degrees. But Jupiter is a planet that's very much to do with enterprise, and Uranus can push us to be a little bit more inventive, yet you've got Pluto at the top of your chart in an area which is very much to do with convention, the 10th house. So as much as Venus moving into your sign, joining up with the Sun, the path of fortune, Uranus and Jupiter can really encourage you to cut a path very much using your individual talents. because Venus clashes with Pluto, you may experience somebody who doesn't necessarily want you to use your individuality, but particularly around your work. So, but also it could be the case that if you are a very talented person when it comes to art, the arts and flair, that you may find yourself having to talk to an agency for funding, getting a decision on something you want to do, and you may need to interact with someone quite influential who could be a bit difficult and a bit hard to read. Pluto often keeps things out of sight. So just be aware there could be a little bit of push and pull, but that also could show itself around a relationship situation. If you are in a relationship of any kind, whether it's with a family member, a friend, a colleague, or in a romantic context, where it feels that the other person always needs to hold the upper hand over you, that's something that could really rankle with you. And maybe Mars moving into your 12th house is going to see you get in touch with things that in the past maybe you've put to one side, and actually start to own them a little bit more and express more outwardly any frustration you have. But that is going to be the lesson, I feel, of Mars over the next 6 weeks. So a bit of a tussle between Venus and Pluto, but certainly a great opportunity for you to start showcasing your talents this week and your flair. And there could be someone that you can really connect well with. But Mars going into the 12th house does suggest if there are still some people around you that you can't absolutely rely upon, they will need to be weeded out over the period of time through to the middle of June. It's been a real pleasure being with you, Taurus. If you've yet to do so, please sub to the channel, but I hope you have a great week and take care.